Before its division, Korea endured decades of harsh Japanese colonial rule, a period that deeply scarred the nation and fueled its desire for independence. With Japan's defeat in World War II, the Allied powers divided Korea along the 30th parallel, with the Soviets occupying the north and the Americans the south, a temporary measure that became permanent. In 1948, with Soviet backing, Kim Il-sung declared the establishment of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, solidifying the North's communist identity. On June 25, 1950, North Korean forces launched a surprise invasion of South Korea, crossing the 30th parallel in a bid to unify the peninsula under communist rule, sparking a brutal war. The United Nations Security Council, without the Soviet Union present, quickly condemned the invasion, leading to a U.S.-led UN intervention to defend South Korea. As UN forces pushed close to the Yalu River bordering China, Beijing intervened massively, sending hundreds of thousands of People's Volunteer Army soldiers to push back the Union forces. The war devolved into a brutal stalemate along the 30th parallel, culminating in an armistice agreement in July 1953, which technically left the two Koreas still at war. Following the devastation of the war, North Korea embarked on a rapid reconstruction effort, supported by Soviet and Chinese aid, prioritizing heavy industry and collectivized agriculture. Kim Il-sung solidified his power by developing Juche, an ideology of self-reliance, asserting North Korea's independent path and increasingly isolating it from external influences. The cult of personality around Kim Il-sung grew exponentially, portraying him as the great leader and the son of the nation, with his image omnipresent throughout the country. Initially, North Korea's economy often outperformed the South's, but by the 1970s, its rigid centrally planned system began to falter, while South Korea rapidly industrialized. In 1994, Kim Il-sung died and his son Kim Jong-il unprecedentedly inherited power, establishing the world's first communist dynastic succession. Compounded by natural disasters and economic mismanagement, the mid-1990s witnessed the arduous march, a devastating famine that claimed hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of North Korean lives. Despite international pressure and sanctions, North Korea aggressively pursued nuclear weapons, conducting its first underground nuclear test in 2006, escalating global tensions. Various international diplomatic efforts, notably the six-party talks involving North Korea, South Korea, Japan, Russia, and the United States, attempted to negotiate denuclearization, largely failing. Following Kim Jong-il's death in 2011, his youngest son, Kim Jong-un, was swiftly elevated to power, becoming the third generation of the Kim dynasty to rule North Korea. Under Kim Jong-un, North Korea significantly accelerated its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, conducting multiple advanced tests, including hydrogen bombs and intercontinental ballistic missiles. In a surprising turn, Kim Jong-un engaged in unprecedented summit diplomacy, meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump, raising hopes for peace, though little progress was made. Despite diplomatic overtures, North Korea continues to face extensive international sanctions due to its nuclear and missile programs, further entrenching its isolation from the global community. The future of North Korea remains shrouded in uncertainty, a tightly controlled society grappling with economic challenges, human rights concerns, and the perpetual shadow of geopolitical tensions.